I had just landed a programming job in Denver and needed a place to stay fast. I found an affordable apartment in a nice neighborhood and called the number listed. The landlord, Kyle, seemed friendly enough, so I wasn't too worried about red flags. He invited me over to see the place, and as soon as I stepped inside, I loved it: spacious, well-furnished, great vibe, and cheap rent. I signed the lease and moved in that same day. Life settled into a smooth rhythm over the following weeks. My job paid well, and since I worked mostly from home, I only had to visit the office every couple of months for meetings. I sent my work online or by modem. Kyle was also a computer consultant working from home, earning a decent salary, less than mine, but not bad. Because we both worked remotely, we spent a lot of time together watching TV, catching movies, or just chatting. We quickly became close friends, doing almost everything as a pair. Time flew by, and soon we were inseparable. By October, Kyle and I got invited to a Halloween party hosted by one of his friends. We weren't sure what to dress as until, after watching some crossdressers on a talk show the night before, we decided to go as women for a change. Kyle had a friend who worked at a beauty salon and booked us an appointment for the next day. Since Sunday the salon would be closed to others, we'd have the place to ourselves. I questioned him, "Why go now? The party's 2 weeks away." Kyle shrugged, "Come on Nathan, it'll be fun. Imagine living 2 weeks as a woman, seeing the world from their side." I thought it over and agreed it sounded interesting. The next morning, we woke at 8, showered, ate, and headed to the salon. I met Kyle's friend Maya, an incredibly kind and stunning woman, easily the most beautiful I'd ever seen. She told us she'd even picked out some clothes to start us off. Kyle said we'd buy more after the transformation. I still felt uneasy about the whole idea, but Kyle promised it'd be exciting, so I went along. Maya started by having us strip down. Since Kyle and I had seen each other unclothed around the house, this didn't bother us. Then she applied a hair removal cream to everything below our heads. After 20 minutes, we rinsed off in the shower. Watching my body hair wash away surprised me. It felt strange but oddly freeing. Maya dried us off and led us back. Next, she brought out some strange-smelling liquid, a glue-like substance, and what looked like fake female organs and chests. Kyle seemed all in, going for the full effect, and I decided to stay on board to avoid upsetting him. She applied the liquid to our genitals, and right before our eyes, they shrank to small stubs. We both gasped, but Maya reassured us the effect was temporary, lasting only a month or two. "A month or two?" I whispered. Kyle told me to relax, it wasn't a big deal. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time, so I wasn't too bothered. I noticed Maya wink at Kyle, but didn't think much of it, maybe an inside joke. She then glued the fake female organ onto my pubic area, using a blowdryer to set it. She repeated the process on Kyle. I was amazed at how real it looked, complete with a small opening, though I resisted the urge to touch it. She then applied the same treatment to our chests, attaching lifelike fake chests. They bounced and swayed naturally, and for a moment, it almost felt like they were part of me. I brushed the thought aside, blaming it on my mind playing tricks given everything happening. Maya then moved on to our nails, starting with me. She carefully filed my toenails into smooth, rounded shapes before painting them a glossy purple-violet shade I immediately adored. She applied a base coat, followed by the color, and finished with a top coat for extra shine. Next, she tackled my fingernails, cutting them short and smoothing each one just like my toes. Then, using the same adhesive she'd used for the chests and prosthetics, she glued longer fake nails onto each finger. Once they were dry, she painted them the same stunning violet purple as my toenails. I stared in awe. Each nail was about 1.5 inches long, and absolutely gorgeous. Maya repeated the process on Kyle's nails, but chose a deep purple-red polish for him. His nails looked just as striking, if not more so, and were the same length as mine. Then came the hair treatment. Kyle, ever patient, let me go first again. Maya brought out a device resembling a Salon hairdryer but explained it was completely different. This machine would remove all the hair follicles on my scalp and replace them with longer hair in any style or color I wanted, curly, straight, or wavy. The change was permanent and could only be done once. Feeling adventurous, I told her to pick for me. She smiled, promising I wouldn't regret it. As she placed the device on my head, I felt a sharp tug on my hair. She warned the pain would be brief, but I soon felt a sharp, intense sensation, like my head was being yanked and stabbed by countless needles. Then it was over. Looking in the mirror, I gasped, "Oh my God." Cascading red wavy curls framed my face beautifully. Maya asked, "Do you like it?" I replied, "I love it. I can't believe it's actually my hair." I was so absorbed admiring my new look that I barely noticed Maya working on Kyle. When I glanced over, he had the most stunning blonde curls I'd ever seen. We admired our reflections together before Maya announced the next phase. She brought out a mask-like device and explained it was designed to feminize our facial features. She placed it on me, adjusted a few settings, and after 5 minutes, removed it. Staring into the mirror, I barely recognized the beautiful woman looking back. Kyle's gentle tap on my shoulder pulled me from my trance. When I looked at him, I was amazed to see him transformed as well, just as radiant as Maya and me. I marveled at what this salon could accomplish. Maya said there were only a few final steps before we could get dressed. She helped us into flesh-toned unitards, similar to those worn for aerobics. As we wore them, our bodies reshaped before our eyes, slender waists, wide hips, and toned stomachs, like supermodels. Then, as if by magic, the unitards vanished, absorbed seamlessly into our bodies. She styled our hair in trendy cuts popular among models and women, then applied full makeup, lipstick, blush, mascara, eyeshadow, the whole works. When it was time to dress, I slipped into a stunning mini dress that perfectly matched my makeup and nails. Kyle chose a beautiful skirt and blouse ensemble that suited him perfectly. We both wore 3.5-inch heels. Mine featured ankle straps I adored. Just as we were ready to leave, Maya returned with a spray bottle. She instructed us to open our mouths, then sprayed a mist inside. We both gagged briefly, and as I began to ask what it was for, my voice shifted, rising into a clear, beautiful soprano, like a professional woman's voice. I loved it immediately. Kyle's voice changed similarly, confident and feminine, matching perfectly with our new faces and bodies. We both stared into the large wall mirror and couldn't help but gasp. We looked like the most stunning women on the planet, almost unbelievable. Yet, for some reason, Kyle didn't seem as shocked as I was. He then began to explain. Maya, he said, had once been a man just like us and was the genius behind all the machines that transformed us. Kyle confessed that he had fallen in love with me since I moved in. He had always dreamed of becoming a woman himself and wanted me to join him, so we could spend forever as a couple. That was why he came up with the idea of the Halloween party. He assured me Maya was a real woman, just like we had become, and that the transformations were permanent. I was stunned by everything all at once, but pushed the thoughts aside and kissed him deeply and passionately. He returned the kiss even more intensely. After straightening our lipstick, we all smiled. Maya then asked, "So, Kyle and Nathan, what should I call you now?" I chose the name Anna, and Kyle picked Kylie. To cut a long story short, we later got married with Maya as our maid of honor and witness. And, of course, we lived happily ever after. If you appreciated this story and wish to show your support, don't forget to join me on Patreon for exclusive content.